Hello, everyone, and welcome to Leo's Corner. My name is Leo, and on this edition of Leo's Corner, we're going to be talking about parent-child relationship. And here with me, I have Mr. Odinakachi Cosmos. Thank you so much for being with us on Leo's Corner.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, welcome. It's our pleasure hosting you. Tell us a little about yourself.
All right. My name is Cosmos or Nakachi. I'm a property consultant. I'm into real estate and I'm married.
Okay, thank you so much. Nice having you on Leo's Corner. Okay, straight to the topic, parent-child relationship. So throw more light on parent-child relationship. Can you throw more light on it for us?
All right. First of all, it is an honor to be here. All right. I count it a privilege, to be here today. And before someone gets you into their corner or into their space, they have already seen value in you, and they decide to bring you in. So I'm honored. All
Okay,
right.
yeah, thank you.
So, parents and child relationship. You see, this is one of the major factors that determines the outcome of a child in life. All right. It contributes or play a major role on what a child becomes in the future, because parents are the first contact a child makes.
Okay.
Okay, when it comes to proximity and relationship, and relationship influences. If I'm a bad person and you keep on hanging around, you will definitely get bad someday.
Okay.
So the quality of relationship a parent have with the child will determine the outcome of what the child becomes in life. All right, will determine how the child fares in life. So.
Okay, thank you so much for throwing more light on that. Now, okay, what of this instance? We've seen instances where, because children they learn quickly from what they see, especially from what they see. They learn from what they see. We've seen instances, rather, we've seen instances where children tend to learn from what their parents do. Like, for example, a man hitting his wife, smoking, drinking alcohol, using the wrong words. What do you have to say about that? Children learning from the actions of parents.
I mean, one of the reasons we have too many failed marriages or broken home is as a result of what you just mentioned, right? When a child grows up from a toxic environment where the parents are always fighting, quarreling, cursing, and all that, they tend to replicate it in their own family. Like when they have grown and start to build up family, you see the same thing playing out. Okay. Why? Because at that tender stage, your subconscious mind is open. So whatever you're seeing, you're just taking it in. Okay. And even if the child is saying, this thing that my parents are doing are bad, he or she will discover that at a time when he starts raising his own family, the same thing will happen. Why? Okay. Because those things he or she have seen have gotten into the subconscious mind. And when a child doesn't grow up in a family where there is love, it will be very difficult to replicate that love. Wow. All right.
Wow.
There is a big difference between teaching a child how to love and raising a child in an environment
of love. Where there's love. Okay.
Because they observe.
Wow.
And they live by their observation.
Okay.
All right. So I think it is very wrong to raise kids in a toxic environment where parents are always quarreling, fighting, and all that. It impacts mentally. Like to them, and your mental state is what determines your outcome in life.
Wow.
So I think that's
okay. So that goes to parents. Be careful what you do in the presence of your children, because they are learning from you. Be careful what you do in the presence of your children, because they are learning from you. They might not say it, but they are picking it gradually, because their subconscious mind is open to learn and accept anything, and they also play the same action outside there in school, in the society. Okay, to our next question. Do you think it's right for parents to determine the career of their children, or especially because they study in school, stuff like that?
All right. To begin with, most parents don't know what or understand what it means to raise a child.
Okay.
They think that raising a child is only um, providing for the child, feeding, shelter, clothing, sending the child to a good school, and watching the child grow. They think that's only what it takes, to raise a child, but that's just part of it. That's not a vital part of it. Now, raising a child is being able to discover or identify the potential or gift in a child, and having the ability to nurture that gift and see that child growing with it. All right, like creating the right environment for that potential to find expression. Do you get me? So that's what it means to raise a child. The ability to discover the potential in a child, give it an environment to, explore,
Flourish and
to flourish and all that, and to also show support and cheer the carrier of that potential.
Okay.
All right, so that's what raising a child is, and unfortunately today we see where some parents even kill the potential in a child before the child even grows up.
Wow.
We have seen instances where a child loves music. Okay, she's so into music. When once you take her to the church, once the praise and worship section is
going on,
you see the child singing along, vibrating and all that.
Yeah.
Whenever she hears music, she's so intrigued and all that. And people will tell you about it. You say, this my pikin like to sing. But when that child starts growing up and start mingling with music bands, joining choir and all that, you see some parents be like, every time you and this music band, every time you and choir, you have you done this, have you done that, scolding the child. You are killing that potential.
Okay.
You are not supporting that potential.
Okay.
Do you get? And we have seen it in football to boys who love to play football, who sneak out from the house to go and play football, and whenever they are coming back to the house, they are afraid of what the parents will do. And once they are back, you will scold them. Every time you are football, they buy football boots, you set it on fire. I've seen that.
Wow.
You set the boot on fire. You are just killing that gift. All right. Now, but to come to the part that parents
deciding the career and course of study of their children,
that is another level of ignorance. Like a high level of ignorance. Let's say you didn't identify the potential in a child, or you identified it but you didn't pay attention to it, you just ignored it. That's another level. Okay. But the level of determining what a child will be, that's crazy. I don't think it is right, because you can't be a god over a child.
Okay, sorry to cut you there, sir. Because we've seen people say, okay, because I own a law firm, I want my children to be lawyers. Okay, I have a hospital, I want my children to take over the hospital or take over the family business. So I want you to study this just to take over the family business. So do you think it's right or it's wrong?
It's wrong.
Okay.
For me, it's totally wrong.
Oh, so, okay, what are your points?
Now, we are, God created us as free beings. Free thinkers. But religion and politics have done a lot of damage, but we don't want to go into that dimension. And as free thinkers, God expects you to explore your creativity. Do you get me? So as a parent, you don't have to be a god over your child, determining what you want your child to be.
Okay.
You see, these are people. They are individuals, they are people. Is only that they came from you.
Okay.
And because they came from you, doesn't give you the right to become God over them, to determine their outcome. Allow them to choose their passion.
Okay.
Your duty is to discover the area they are so interested in and render your support
Okay.
and allow them excel. So it is wrong. Now, if that child of yours do not have the passion of studying law or studying medicine, but because he or she needs to please you and goes ahead to study that, go through that course,
Oh, yes, yeah.
later in life, he or she might not feel this, might not have this
Fulfillment, yeah.
because there is something else he or she wants to engage in. But because he wants to please you as a parent, he chooses them this career path. So I don't think it's okay.
Okay, over to our next question now. Talking about parent-child relationship. Most of the times you see that the parents are always busy going out to work, to fetch money, funds, get funds so they can run the family, and they tend to neglect that quality time with their children. Now, okay, talking about relationship. Now, let's talk about relationship and sex. Do you think it's right for a parent to have that communication, that conversation with their children as they grow up? Talking about relationship, the opposite sex relationship, sex relationship, and stuff like that. Do you think it's right for parents to have that communication with their children, or that type of discussion rather with their children as they grow up?
All right. I think it all depends. It all depends.
Okay.
There are some conversations you will have with a child. If the child have not grown mentally to really indulge in such conversation, it might do damage to the child.
Okay.
So, as a parent, you need to be sensitive. Know the level at which your kids are mentally. Then you now engage on some certain discussions or conversations with them. All right. So if a child begins to grow into puberty stage, I think it is the best time to start discussing sexual discussions, conversation with the child, but not going deep.
Okay.
You get trying to let them know, okay, they are entering into maturity stage right now. Don't allow a man to use some certain words, or when a man uses some certain words, this is what the man means. So don't allow a man to touch you in any area of your body or something of that nature. Now, the moment they start crossing, like, let's say 16, 17, then it is likely that some of them will start trying to go into relationship. Then be an open book, engage in an open conversation with them. You get, tell them that there is nothing bad in having a partner from the opposite sex, but there should be boundaries. You get me? Because make them understand that they are still under your watch. All right, and there are some things you won't tolerate, and there are some mistakes they will make that will impact in their future
and their life.
You get in their life. So you just have to be open with them, and it is also okay for the parents to also educate themselves on how to raise kids.
Wow, parents educate themselves on how to raise kids.
Yes,
okay.
Educate yourself. Because there are some certain things, there are some certain knowledge you might not have. Okay, that are not at your disposal. And whatever you are ignorant of, the enemy takes advantage of it.
Okay.
You get me? So I think it is okay to have that open conversation, but it all depends on the level the level of mindset or the level of mentality the child is at the moment.
Okay, because most of the times we find our parents are so strict that sometimes the children want to say something, they want to tell you, they want to open up to you, but because of the level of your strictness, okay, how you react, how you act towards them, they tend to, instead of talking to you, they talk to somebody outside, an uncle, an auntie, a neighbor, a friend, and they get advice and instructions from social media, friends, and stuff like that. So as a parent, you just have to create that environment. Try to be friendly with your children.
Yeah.
It's not always about shouting, hitting them. Try to be friendly. Do you think the perspective and ideas or suggestions of your children count in the family? Do you think it does?
Of course it does. Of course it does. Nobody knows it all.
Okay.
Nobody knows it all. And don't forget, you have your own generation. We all have our generation and what was obtainable in every generation. All right. There are some informations that the next generation might have that you don't have. You get me? So as a parent, you need to be open. Let's give an open room for opinions.
Okay.
Both from your wife, from your husband, also from
your children.
All right. Whatever the issue might be, try to get their own perspective.
Okay.
All right. Ask them questions on what they think about this, on what they think about that, and there is a way you ask them the question that don't make it to be secretive or to be that serious. Just with
a friendly
manner,
approach,
a friendly approach and all that. Just ask them those questions and try to get their
opinions.
By sharing their opinion, you get to understand the level of their knowledge.
Okay.
All right, and where they are going.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
so,
Okay. Before we wrap up, do you think it's right for a parent to determine the wife or husband of their child, or who their child will marry, or dictate who their child will marry? Or
as parents, right? The only time you will have problems picking who your child marries or not is when you didn't play your role right, because you're supposed to be an example.
okay.
You and your party, like if it is in a family where the father and the mother are playing their role, okay, both of them need to be an exemplary figure of what a partner, an ideal partner, looks like.
Okay.
You get me? If the man is playing his role well as a man and is treating the wife very well, the daughter will admire the man, and the daughter will be like, I want my potential husband to be like my father.
Okay.
You get me? Those character traits and all that. Or the man will also be like, okay, I want my potential wife to have those home orientation, family orientation as a mother.
Okay, sorry, let me cut you now. Sorry, I'm going personal now.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm going personal. Now, as a father, would you dictate or determine or who your daughter will get married to, or who your son will get married? Will you dictate and say, okay, no, I don't want this person. Yes, I want this person.
That's where I'm going.
Okay. Sorry, I cut
This
you.
is it.
Okay.
Let me now use myself since you're going
Yeah.
personal.
Okay.
Okay. Because children learn by observation.
Okay.
I don't need to start telling them on who to marry when they have become adults.
Okay.
At that early stage, I have to be an example.
Okay.
I have to show them who they are supposed to marry. Look, if you want to get married to a man in the future, look at me now. I have to be the example. I have to treat their mother right.
Okay.
I have to do the right things.
Okay.
Because they are watching, they are observing. And as they are observing, they are now trying to pick out the qualities they want in their potential husband.
Okay.
You get me? So when I start dictating for them as adults, I have failed. That's my take. I have
Okay.
that's my own point of view. I have failed. You get, because if I played my card right, she will go out there and she will make the right decision and bring the right thing on board.
Okay.
You get, because I set a standard.
Okay, no, okay, now let me go, my sound off, but let me go a little personal. What if the man your daughter bring home, or the lady your son bring home to you, like, okay, he wants to show you, okay, this is who I want to get married to, and you don't like, you've sensed and you don't like the person, will you say no to the marriage, or will you tell him to go ahead, or what will you do?
Okay, she's an adult, right?
Yes.
I will have a conversation with her.
Okay.
I will tell her my observations and what I sensed, what I perceived. Okay, and if she's someone who listens to me, if we already have that relationship, and that's why it is good to keep quality relationship while they are still growing up.
Okay.
You understand me? So if she's the kind of daughter that listens to the father, we already have this connection.
Okay.
She will listen to me. She'll be like, okay, I'm seeing reasons with you.
But you won't force her.
I won't force her.
Okay.
I won't force her. If I will just give her my opinion.
Okay.
Then whatever she wants to do with that opinion depends on her. I won't force her. If she wants to end up getting married to the guy and later on discover that's her life, whenever she comes back, I will still accept her. That's my daughter.
Okay.
Yes.
That's your opinion. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for being with us on this edition of Leo's Corner. Thank you, Mr. Odinaka Chikosmos. Nice having you on Leo's Corner.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Okay, just to re-emphasize, parents, try to create an environment where your children can always come to you and tell you things and open up to you. Try to build that parent-child relationship. Don't be so busy chasing money and chasing your career. You forget to train up your children. Give your children that attention they need, that environment. And also don't forget that what you do, things you do, your children are looking up to you, they learn. Don't forget to comment, to like, to share, and subscribe to our social media handle, our YouTube, our Facebook, our Instagram, and our TikTok handle. See you in our next edition. Have a lovely day.